Welcome to TV Trash. Since Saturday Night Live has become the last bastion of sketch comedy on TV, it's only natural that someone would eventually choose to parody it. Ironically, it was an SNL alum who pulled it off successfully when Tina Fey created 30 Rock. The crazy cast of Fey, Baldwin, and their cohorts became an instant hit. This drove Aaron Sorkin to create his own SNL spoof on the same network, no less, with Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. Sorkin had already established a name for himself with the breakout drama The West Wing and the critically acclaimed yet short-lived Sports Night. So, was Sorkin successful at creating a spoof on sketch comedy? If he was, do you think we'd be reviewing his show right now? The pilot opens as the fictitious show is going on the air, but producer Judd Hirsch is having issues.
This sketch is funny. It killed a dress.
What do you want me to say to the 50 million people who are going to go out of their minds as soon as it airs?
First of all, you can tell them that we average 9 million households. So that's at least 41 million who are full of crap.
Complaining about the First Amendment versus political correctness. Now that's comedy!
Oh, stop this. Let's stop it, Tom. Listen,
So Sorkin, Hirsch's character, breaks down and says how much his own show sucks on the air, getting himself fired. At the same time, Jordan McDear, played by Amanda Peet, has become the network's new president. Her solution is to hire back Studio 60's old head writers, Danny Tripp, played by Bradley Whitford, and Matt Albee, played by Matthew Perry, fresh off his 10-year run on Friends.
You're on Vicodin?
Yeah, I may have exceeded the recommended dosage.
Wow. First scene in the show and Matt has to parody his own past drug problems, and they can't even do that funny!
Matt, you can get another director. You can get someone good.
I don't want someone else, I want you.
The joke was that I don't want someone good. I want you.
And there's the underlying problem with this show. A complete lack of comedy! Yeah, technically the show is called a dramedy, but the second part of that name implies that there should be some humor. Watching the entire pilot, I found only one spot that made me slightly chuckle.
Do you think television is bad?
I think My Mother the Car was bad.
And I think you know why I find that funny.
You fired us 4 years ago from the number 2 spot. We went out and got famous, and now you want us back because you're in a jam.
You quit.
Please, Jack. The wind started blowing hard in another direction, and all of a sudden my jokes weren't so funny anymore. You put the flag over the network bug. God forbid you should lose the bug altogether, and you pointed us toward the door.
I'm actually surprised this show even got greenlit, because it seems the biggest message Sorkin was shouting was, everything about NBC and SNL sucks!
We're all being lobotomized by this country's most influential industry. People are having contests to see how much they can be like Donald Trump. We're eating worms for money. Who wants to screw my sister? Guys are getting killed in a war that's got theme music and a logo.
Look, I'm no big fan of NBC for my own reasons, but that doesn't mean I want to be berated about how sorry the state of TV is.
They're gonna say he was right. Every cable show is gonna have non-stop roundtables about how Hollywood's taking our national culture to hell on a speedboat, and we just became the symbol of that.
The reason 30 Rock works is because its intent is to poke fun at SNL and NBC's corporate culture rather than shove soapbox comments in our faces. And they don't need to hide behind a fictional TV network. What's more, the 30 Rock characters are over the top in their quirkiness, making them entertaining, while most everyone here is dry, dull, and unendearing. Let's compare the two diva characters. Jane Krakowski as Jenna Maroney is an egotistical, ditzy, but still charming character, possibly parodying Tina Fey's longtime colleague Amy Poehler. But Harriet Hayes, played by Sarah Paulson, is a humorless, holier-than-thou preacher woman who was essentially a template Sorkin used to vent his problems toward his ex-girlfriend Kristen Chenoweth.
Until you either accept Jesus Christ as your personal savior or make somebody laugh, why don't you talk to somebody else?
You put on a dress, and you sang for a bigot.
I sang for his audience, not every one of whom is necessarily the grotesque stereotype you'd like them to be. Most of these people have nothing except their faith, and that moves me.
So much of the show is spent pointing out everything Sorkin doesn't like, whether it's the FCC, the religious right, Nicolas Cage. And the actual story takes a back seat to all this. They spent the first 2 episodes going on about one sketch that made fun of Christian extremists, and guess what? We never see the sketch!
I need legal, I need the broadcast center. We got a problem.
I performed jokes from this desk that, as it turns out, have been plagiarized.
The guy who wrote it 9 years ago, and his name is Benjamin Barkley.
He wrote it when he was here.
We own the copyright.
We're 4 episodes in, and I'm still waiting for something funny!
This is not the comedy we intended to do when the week began.
You know what? Screw comparing this show to 30 Rock. How about we compare it to another show based around a fictional sketch comedy show? Sonny with a Chance! Yeah, I'm going to see if Aaron Sorkin can produce comedy that's better than what's on a Disney Channel show.
We are the real princesses of New Jersey. Your mother's a witch. Your mother's a witch. Princesses. All our mothers are witches. True that.
See, this works because it not only makes fun of an actual reality show, it's poking fun at Disney's own princess's image.
Jackson Tyler!
His eyes shine like 1,000 rubies.
His eyes look like he's been swimming in a pool with too much chlorine.
Making fun of Twilight's always good.
She did not just say you wore it better.
Jeez, even their diva has more personality. It doesn't do good when a kid's show is funnier than yours, Aaron. I'll admit the show got around to some good character development later on, like Jordan's pregnancy, her boss admitting he agreed with her stances, and this one impassioned speech from the chairman of the board that only Ed Asner could say.
I won't pay a $73 million fine. I won't pay a 73-cent fine. I won't time delay the news, and I won't say I'm sorry. I no longer recognize the authority of the FCC in this matter. And when they come to get my transmitter, they better send a group a hell of a lot more scary than the Foundation for Friendly Families, or whatever the hell they are.
Lou Grant is sitting up in his grave and applauding, and I don't even know if he's dead. But these were few and far between on a series with too many dry spots. There's little doubt Sorkin quickly knew the show wasn't coming back after 1 year, because he devoted the last 4 episodes to essentially an anti-war rant based around a cast member's brother getting captured. The fact that he got rescued at the end, essentially saying our military is competent, was a nice touch, but few if any people were left to see it. This could have been a really good show, but overall it was dull, preachy, and a chore to get through all 22 episodes. If Aaron Sorkin wanted another platform for his social issues, the backdrop of a sketch comedy wasn't it, as he was more focused on force-feeding his messages across instead of creating comedy or dramatic stories. It's really sad that this show couldn't make Matthew Perry any funnier than Demi Lovato, let alone Tina Fey. But there is one thing that neither Studio 60, 30 Rock, or Sonny can top. Pig Vikings singing along to the Village People!
In the Navy, yes, you can sail the 7 seas. In the Navy, yes, you can put your mind at ease. In the Navy.
See you next time on TV Trash.